Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Talk about somebody finding a way to win. Man, what's going on with Floyd Mayweather, Leonard Ellerbe, Eddie Hearn, and DAZN? I mean, we got to pay attention to what's going on here. I never in a million years thought I would see Mayweather and Leonard Ellerbe involved with DAZN because of DAZN's relationship with Eddie Hearn and how they've totally just ripped the application. Well, Leonard Ellerbe in particular totally shredded the application and basically said in a nutshell that it was worthless. But there's something shaping up here, okay? Because I understand what's going on with KSI's pay-per-view numbers. Probably did good. It aired on DAZN. His brother's DAZN. Maybe something good happened out there. DAZN sees this as another opportunity for an easy money grab. I don't know. But I would have never in a million years expected Mayweather. And although it's Mayweather's bout, Leonard Ellerbe is involved. I could only imagine if they had to go in and talk with the DAZN execs, because obviously, because Leonard Ellerbe, he's the one who's, working behind the scenes feverishly to make a lot of these fights happen. The Mayweather exhibition bouts, in my understanding, tank bouts, and, I don't know who else he's working with. But I could only imagine when Ellerbe, if he went to meet the DAZN execs, when he walked in the office or the building or whatever, when they greeted him, the awkwardness of that initial greeting. I would have loved to be a fly on that wall. Oh my God, man, that shit had to be hilarious. I could only imagine how those nostrils flared when those DAZN execs stepped to him and went to shake his hand, and I'm sure that was very uncomfortable for everyone. But nevertheless, somehow Mayweather's next exhibition bout is going to be carried on DAZN pay-per-view. So what it looks like, to me, in my opinion, is that like the days of DAZN claiming that pay-per-view is dead. I actually think the days of them saying pay-per-view is dead has truly died. Okay, so they're not saying that anymore. I mean, you look, they picked up this exhibition bout between Floyd and DAZN, and they're using the DAZN pay-per-view platform, which again makes me wonder. But how much longer can Mayweather do this? Well, he's 45. He hasn't had a sanctions bout since what, 2017? That's when he fought, where it all started, basically, Conor McGregor. But when it comes to exhibitions, Mayweather is the standout when it comes to that exhibition circuit. Pacquiao's following in his footsteps, but Mayweather is the guy who kind of said, hey, this is something that we can do in retirement and make good money. And people want to see Pacquiao. And I think if Broner decided to do it, I think Broner would be pretty successful as well. But Mayweather hasn't had any fight carried by what you might consider a name brand platform other than Showtime really since 2012. And that was when he fought Miguel Cotto, and I think that was like the last fight under that HBO banner. But what we see going on with Mayweather and DAZN, it may not mean that he's working directly with DAZN. When it comes to these platforms, it's kind of weird. Like it could just be an event, and then when it was being shopped around, the DAZN pay-per-view picked it up. So it could have ended up on a different streaming service. It's just whoever puts up the most money. And I think that's kind of how this works. But if they picked it up, I'm sure there had to still be some kind of conversation. I would have loved to see Ellerbe in there with DAZN, especially if Eddie Hearn popped up. Oh boy, that would have been great. But we got to see that with DAZN, because they're such global titans when it comes to what they do as a company, right? But it's going to take place in Dubai. And obviously there was some kind of deal made for DAZN to carry this fight as a pay-per-view. Now, other than Mayweather's exhibition with Logan Paul, that was Showtime pay-per-view. That took place in 2021. And his other exhibition fights, I think those were all through direct streams. Not sure the different companies. I know that he kind of went with whoever offered the most money. And I think one was Fight TV and the other one was I think In Demand. But at the end of the day, DAZN, it has to be admitted that they're really trying to change their tune for the biggest and best fights and having them on pay-per-view. And it's just a cash grab attempt. And the exhibition has really no actual significance to them. And what this is telling you, now this is my opinion, but I feel strongly about this one, man, is that DAZN put up so much money on the front end. In addition to the $1 billion they gave Hearn to try to grow the platform, that they are in the red, the hunt for Red October. They are in the red, man. Lady with the red dress, the red solo cup. I got on a red hat right now. I just think that these guys are trying to regroup themselves financially. And that's why you're seeing, especially recently, so many DAZN pay-per-view events. They got to have a mechanism in place to recoup a lot of money. I'm going to say this lost money, but I'm going to say that they have money that was just, maybe mismanaged, and they're just trying to figure out a way to get in the yellow. And I think it's going to take a while. But I think when they look at how KSI and his event actually fared, I think DAZN feels like they may be onto something here. I really do. I think they looked at, we had this event for KSI. Now we're going to work with his brother Deji. There were some huge numbers, in my understanding. And they're going to go and see what happens with Deji. Now remember, Deji probably had the standout performance on that fight card that KSI when he fought the two cornballs. Because Deji was a guy who really struggled to make that transition to boxing. But he had a very good performance against Fusitude. He looked good. He had technique. Obviously, he worked on some things. So, of course, with Mayweather, he recognized immediately, it's a super easy fight for me. It's going to do big numbers. It's going to strike while the iron's hot, and let's try to make a deal. And it just so happened that he got picked up by DAZN pay-per-view. Now, the uniqueness of this pay-per-view event, right, is more than likely it probably will not be $50 or $70. It could be more between like $10 and $20. Okay, because KSI show wasn't that expensive. But it's going to air on Sunday. It's going to be going head to head with NFL football here in the States. So, that's a lot to go against. People over here love the damn football. But we're going to see, because my understanding is DAZN is putting up some money, but they're not putting up all the money. Matter of fact, majority of the money, my understanding, could be coming from, just sponsors and endorsement deals and from the pay-per-view model that they have in place. So it could be something that kind of works well for everyone, from the fighters, from the zone, application and those execs, because no one's really being forced to buy it. And again, they're all about subscriptions, but the pay-per-view model is going to really help to pay these guys whatever they're looking for. Remember, Mayweather's not looking for $50 million. He pick up a little $10 million here, $8 million there. At that price point, he can easily get the money that he wants. But his most recent exhibition, if you guys remember, it came in September, where he went out there to Japan and fought some guy, I don't know, Asakura. We had a pretty lopsided fight, but that was just a joke, man. But going forward, man, we're going to see what takes place here. But I'm going to go ahead and look into this a little bit. I really think if this sorts itself out the way it does, I could see Mayweather trying to work his subsequent pay-per-view bouts and exhibitions with the app if this is a success. The thing is, he's going to have to get the right dancing partner, okay? Because people are going to pay for it. If he comes on, clips Deji, and goes against KSI, Mayweather against KSI on the DAZN app, and look, that would sell. And KSI would probably help Mayweather get 1 million buys. Mayweather mess around and make $100 million, man. So we'll see. But all of this is great. All of this is interesting. But what I really want to see, I want to see and hear from Leonard Ellerbe. Like, this is cracking me up. What is he saying? Is he going to, contradict himself like Eddie Hearn? Is he going to be, cool as a fan? Or is he not going to speak at all? I want to hear from Leonard Ellerbe. But, because I need to know, is PBC trying to plan a takeover? Are they looking at an opportunity here to make some money? I don't know. None of us know. All we know about is the articles you read and some of the stuff these guys tell us, but half the time they don't tell us the damn truth anyway. They only tell us what they want us to know. But I just think it'd be really interesting if for some reason now, Al Heyman, Leonard Ellerbe, and Mayweather get involved with DAZN and push Eddie Hearn out the way. Boy, oh boy. Now, I'm not wishing bad on anyone, okay? So all the joking aside, that's not something I want to see. But, at the same time, all the back and forth between these guys, I just think it just adds to the entertainment to see DAZN say, Eddie Hearn, pull a Trump on his ass. You're fired, the finger. Boom, you're fired. You're out of here. Now, I will crack up. Not wishing bad for him, but it'll just be funny to me how the whole thing played out. It's like a damn soap opera, man. And then Eddie Hearn goes to Showtime now, I mean, at the end of the day, Ellerbe and Eddie Hearn need to fight. It'll be Leonard versus Hearns, because his first name is Leonard, Eddie's last name is Hearns. Leonard versus Hearns. What would that be? The Hearns and Leonard fought what, twice? So I'd be like third fight or something. That'd be hilarious, man. But anyway, y'all keep cool. We'll see how this plays out. These guys are fighting on November 13th. I'm definitely going to watch it. I'm actually looking forward to this fight because Deji has a lot of respect for Mayweather. You can see between the two of them, it's like Mayweather's like the uncle and that's the nephew. Like, that's the kind of respect that Deji had for him. The way he held his hand and shook his hand, it's more like he's in amazement of Mayweather's presence, and he's just like, I can't believe I'm here. It's a surreal experience. And that's great that you see that respect. And hopefully he puts forth a great effort and we get an entertaining fight. But more to come on Mayweather, Leonard Ellerbe, Al Heyman, PBC, DAZN, Eddie Hearn. Are they all going to kumbaya? Or are they still going to try to kill each other? That's what I want to find out. That being said, shout out to the veterans. Y'all keep cool. Everyone from across all 7 continents. Appreciate the support. And as always, in the breeze.